hands together and let's welcome Jessica to the stage.
Good morning. Let me start by telling you something slightly uncomfortable. Somebody in your category knows your customer better than you do. They know when they're going to buy. They know when they're going to churn. They know before they release a piece of content what's going to convert before it even lands. And they are bidding against you. This is not just about having the biggest budget, the loudest voice, the most amount of creative content, or yet another dashboard. E-commerce has changed. And the brands who are winning right now, they are more informed. They're not just reacting to data, they're operating on it. And that is exactly what I'm going to talk to you about this morning. I'm Jessica Myers, I'm the Chief Customer Officer for the Very Group, and I'm going to talk to you about how we use data to power our e-commerce business. Let me tell you a little bit about us. It's amazing being up here in Madfest today because we are an incredibly proud Northwest brand. We were born in Liverpool almost 100 years ago. We started off life as the Littlewoods catalogue, that wonderful, nostalgic catalogue that lands on your doorstep. And you swiped through to find that perfect product. And our catalogue turned into stores. Our stores turned into e-commerce. And today, Very is our flagship brand. We have over 4.5 million customers. We have about 1.2 million visits to the site every single day. And on Black Friday, that is closer to 3 million visits. We offer thousands of brands, including our own brand, across multiple categories. We're talking fashion, home, sports, toys, gifts, beauty. And as well as offering our customers a seamless shopping experience across our department store, we also offer them financial service products as well. We offer them flexible ways to pay through our Very Pay offering. So I've just painted a picture for you then, a huge amount of customers, tons of visit data, shopping data across thousands of brands and multiple categories. And because the majority of our customers value our flexible payment options, I have their financial services data as well. We are sitting on a mountain of rich first-party data, and that is both a privilege and a responsibility. But data is not the output. Everything we strive to do is all about the customer impact. And there are 5 really important points I want to make here for you. The first thing we do is think about the signals. Where has the customer landed? What are they looking at? What are they reacting to? When we see the signals, we have understanding. What's most relevant for them? How do they want to navigate across the site? What does it take for them to find that perfect product? Those understandings then turns into decisions, the decisions that we make. What do we show on the homepage? What advertising do we show? What product do we show? When do we show it? When do we lean in? When do we pull back? Those decisions then help us create the customer experience. And that is what the customer sees. That's what they feel. That's the thing that gives them confidence and relevancy as they're navigating across our estate. And consistent confidence, relevancy, understanding the shopping experience, that experience then turns into trust. And that's what we're after, because trust equals customer satisfaction. Customers who are genuinely wowed by ease. Customers who come back to our shop time and time again. So let me introduce you to our customers. So at Very, our purpose is about helping our families get more out of life, and we absolutely agonize over hard-working families. Our target customer is female. She's about 40 years old. She's married. She has 2 children. She works full-time. She has an incredibly busy life, looking after the needs of her entire household, making ends meet, making everything work really, really hard for her. She loves big family moments, so she lives for things like Christmas, Easter, holidays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, birthdays. She's acutely aware that World Book Day is coming up next week, and she's prepared. And that's why she loves coming to Very, right? Because she's incredibly busy, looking after the needs of the family, and she operates around doing all of the shopping needs all in one place, because she can shop for everything in one place. She's super busy. But she also is the ultimate budgeting queen. She really values the ability to be able to spread the cost and use both our shopping experience, but also our flexible ways to pay. And that's why she loves Very. So this is who we're designing for. And when we think about who we're designing for, Yes, I've given you a lot of data, but I've given you insight, and I've talked to you about richness, and we make the data work. The customer doesn't notice that. They just feel confident. And that's what we're after, confidence and seamlessness. We want customers to be genuinely wowed by ease when they're experiencing our shopping. So I thought I'd take the customer and talk you through the journey, how we use data at every single stage of the customer funnel. I'm going to walk you through awareness, through to point of conversion, and then right through to how we're deepening customer relationships. So let's start with awareness. Okay, like picture my customer, okay? She's just got the kids to bed. It's quite late tonight. They've been overacting. She's sitting on the sofa. She's watching Bake Off, and she's obviously dual screening. Like we all do that, right? She's sitting there. She's on Instagram. That's where she goes for inspiration and for relaxation. She loves following celebrities. She's got loads of influencers who really inspire her. And what she's thinking about is the season has just changed. I need to kick the family out. I love it when we're all beautifully turned out. She wants everyone to look the same. Right? I'm thinking Instagram pictures here. And she comes across, oh, look at this. Beautiful advert from Very, the cozy edit. That's a bit of me. I can see my whole family turning out like that. Super inspired. I'm after aspirational yet affordable fashion. Click. That click is intentional. We knew that was going to happen because we know so much about our customer. We have used our data to understand what she's looking for, where she's shopping, what she needs, and how we put the right content in front of her at the right time. That is exactly what she's looking for. She comes through to discovery. So this time, she's seen an advert from our latest Levi's campaign. Check it out. It's absolutely fantastic. And she was obviously looking for the latest pair of barrel jeans. Who isn't? We have thousands of lines of jeans on our site. So how do we make sure that we put the perfect set of jeans at the right top of the shopping experience for her? In our discovery and our search, we're using AI. We've partnered with a company called Constructor. And they help make sure that we are incredibly relevant, raising the relevancy of the product to the top of the list when the customer is searching. We use real-time data signals and real-time customer behavior to help her with the filtering process. Because who's got time to filter through thousands of jeans? Our customer hasn't. She's a busy mum. She's working full-time. She's doing this on the bus on the way to work. She needs to find those jeans. Our job is making sure she can find the right product really quickly. We then come into consideration. Right, this is the point where she's looking for the perfect lip gloss, isn't she? Because, of course, you need a lip gloss with the jeans and the cozy edit. She's been highly excited by the images that she's seen on the site. She's gone through to the product description page at this point. She's moved on from the image. The first thing she's going to read is the copy on the top of the page. Now, we need to make sure that the copy that we're surfacing has the right details for her. It's all she cares about. And we've been using Gen AI to help us write product descriptions that are highly targeted to the customer and incredibly relevant. The other thing about the content on that page that's really relevant to her in terms of making her consideration choice is around ratings and reviews. Now, we all love it, don't we? When we land on a site, we see a 5-star rating, there's about 100 reviews sitting there, and you go, yep, I feel really confident in making that decision. The other thing that helps customers feel confident in their decision is when people like them buy products like these, when people like me show the product on me. And that's where the UGC comes in. It's really rich in terms of helping customer consideration. We've been including that on our site to make sure that customers can feel really informed about making the right choice for them. This works really hard for us. And we're then into the purchase part of the decision. This might not feel like the most glamorous part of the decision, but this is a moment of truth. And it's a moment of trust. This is the point where the customer is imparting their money towards us, or they're giving us important, sensitive information, and we take that moment really seriously. Now, I've already spoken to you about our customer being the ultimate budgeting queen. She highly values our flexible ways to pay and how she can spread the cost for her family with her shopping. So we make sure we're talking to her about the most relevant products. Whether she's thinking about taking out an installment plan, so she's bought a new mobile phone, she wants an installment plan, whether it's a buy now, pay later option over 6, 9, or 12 months, whether it's she's looking to pay in 3. Those financial services options are really specific to her needs. And because we have so much data on her, we really understand her affordability and what's most relevant to her. And this is the point where we need her to feel into control and to give her utmost confidence in her decision. Does she understand the payments? Does she understand her options? How can she leave here feeling incredibly confident about the purchase? So as well as the shopping journey, of course, we have really deep understanding of our customer so we can proactively reach out to them. So whether that is us talking to her about inspiration, so of course she's just bought a beautiful dress, can we recommend the right pair of shoes to go with that dress? Or she's just bought the latest Apple smartwatch and she's looking for a pair of AirPods to match to that. So whatever the reason might be, we think long and hard about how we contact the customer and making sure we're talking to them about what matters most. The first stage of that is making sure we have the right permissions in place. Have they given us permission to talk to them? How would she like us to talk to her? In what channels? In what type of frequency? We take all that into consideration. And then we only reach out when there's something really valuable to talk to her about. We don't want to spam her. Personalization is key, but not in a creepy way. Let's not bombard the customer. She needs to be really clear on why she's seeing that piece of content in that channel and how it's incredibly relevant to not only her, but also to her family. So if I was sitting where you are, I'd be saying, Jess, what are the 5 most powerful things that I should be taking out of your presentation today? So here are the 5 things I'm going to be leaving you with, I want you to think about. Hopefully, as I've been speaking, you've heard about the customer session that we have at Very, and everything starts with the customer. You need to know your customer inside out. What are her wants and needs? What are their hopes and dreams? And what is the problem that you are looking to solve? Start with the problem, start with the customer. Don't just start with the data. You will get lost. The second point is starting on the signals. And that's the signals that matters most. Given all the data I've talked to you about that we have at Very, we have hundreds of data points on every single customer. You would get lost if you try to use all those signals. Think about the customer, think about what matters most, and make sure you're using those signals first. The third point then is around personalization, and reducing the effort and reducing the noise. Making sure you're being highly targeted in the moments that matter. Customers entrust so much of their data with us. We have a duty of care to look after that. We need to make sure that we're being relevant and personalized, but don't be creepy. Fourth point, be transparent. There are big moments that matter in your customer journey, whether they're handing over data to you, whether it's a payment purchase, whether it's a really difficult decision they need to make. Make sure you're honoring that in the moments of truth and in those moments of trust. And the final one then is about measuring success by confidence. Of course, you've heard me agonize just now over conversion rate and conversion rate optimization, but I agonize equally over conversion rate as I do on customer service and customer satisfaction. They both matter. Happy customers come back and shop with you time and time again. So before we open up for a few questions, let me go back to the start of the story. The brands who are winning today are the ones who are most informed. They aren't reacting to the data, they are operating on it. So don't let one of your competitors in your category know your customer better than you do. Thank you. All good?
Great, thank you, Jessica. I think we're going to take some questions, if that's
if
okay,
there's any,
from the audience. And here we have Sophie.
Hello. My question is about personalisation. So what proportion of the personalisation happens behind authentication versus not being behind a logged-in environment?
We do both.
Yeah.
Right, so we'll do in-session personalization. So when customers are going across the site, we're understanding their behavior. So when I talk to you about the search and discovery experience, we're using real-time customer data and behavior to make sure we're using the relevant personalization there. And of course, given how many customers we have, the majority of our personalization is going to be happening because we have that active customer base and we can talk to them specifically about the data points we know about them.
Brilliant. Any more questions? Sophie? Oh, there she is. Great.
Thank you. You said about the age of your current customer. How do you think Very is preparing for the next generation of customer?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, she's about 40. She'll range between 35 and 45. But she's obviously the parent in the whole family. So we think about the entire family's needs. we have a lot of times when the entire family is shopping on the site. Like, my kids love this, as does our customer. They're jumping on there and they're adding stuff to the basket. So we're making sure we're really engaging them within our content as well. Yes, of course, we're talking to the household hero, but at the same time, of course, there's everything there for the family. We love it when the whole family get involved. So of course, we're talking to the children at the same time. Our content is quite broad as well. So of course, we're highly targeted, but a trend is a trend, and we're making sure when we're out there, especially in our social channels, we're really piquing the interest of the customers who are really, fashion followers, and so we are able to bring in lots of great, fresh customers into the site that way too.
You've got amazing insight and doing some fantastic work at the front end of the customer journey. How do you make sure that that continues right through the process in terms of customer experience and it doesn't break down through fulfillment, etc.? And in other words, engaging the whole organisation in what you're trying to achieve?
Yeah, it's a really good question. Constant energy and focus is customer. So yes, I've talked about the front end, but actually everybody owns the customer. Everybody owns the brand, and everybody is responsible for making sure those experiences are bob on every single time. There's a few things we do. NPS is a really big target for our organisation. We agonise over growth in NPS and making sure we're delivering for our customer from a satisfaction perspective, and we survey them obviously really regularly to ensure we're meeting their needs. I task every single colleague in the organisation to be the eyes and ears of the customer, and we have a central way that we're capturing any customer dissatisfaction. So if you're searching on the site, I'll encourage our colleagues to shop. If you're shopping on the site and you find something that lets the customer down, you put it on the eyes and ears of the customer, eyes and ears, and we make it really, really visible, and we go through and fix those. So we'll go through, NPS covers all the different moments of the customer journey. We make sure we're capturing the eyes and ears across the site, and we use those to help rank and prioritise our conversion rate optimisations and our customer propositions to improve those as we go. So it's everybody's joint responsibility, and we make it really visual.
Brilliant. Any more questions for Jessica? You're not going to often have an opportunity to speak to somebody as brilliant as this lady. Thank you. Great.
Hi. When you talk about personalisation tactics, are you experimenting and finding what works best, or are you going on a database decision and just making it stick?
Always experiment. Absolutely.
Good.
So, data goes to the experimentation. We'll run 20 to 30 experiments a month, depending on what it's been, whether it's the on-site optimization, whether it's through CRM, etc. Of course, we test everything because everything moves.
I think we've got time for one more question over here, please.
Great, thanks. Thanks for the window into Very. I'm just on a reference of the previous talk earlier, and the previous speaker was saying, I've had enough of the kind of awareness, consideration, conversion funnel. And I noticed a sort of similar theme in your slides. So what kind of ways of thinking and frameworks do you feel are under pressure most at the moment, given the rise of AI and just the changes within search?
So the last presentation saying they were bored of the...
Kind of, yeah. They're sort of, I guess, saying that, the collapse of the funnel and someone being able to go from zero awareness to purchase in seconds. So how does that affect you, and what do you feel is under pressure most?
I think under that response, I'd turn around and probably say, if your customer isn't aware of who you are or know what you offer, how on earth are you expecting them to buy from you? The funnel still stands. It's the basic principles of consumer behaviour and marketing we need to follow through. So the response I'd have really in general is about understanding the signals. If you understand your customer and you understand your business, whatever framework you're using, you need to make sure that it's not just the data you're following, it's the customer output and the impact that's most important.
Brilliant. Thank you. Please put your hands together for Jessica Myers. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jess. Thank you.